The code P1299 will register in your escape and the coolant temperature gauge will go all the way up to high, and the message will show up saying that you're about the engine overheating. When you read codes with the scanner, it will say that the engine head is overheated. I have no idea why it says engine head, since there is one coolant temp sensor that causes the issue. But anyway, I've only seen this code in the 1.6 EcoBoost engine, which is a very interesting engine itself, and it has a myriad of problems with the cooling system. But when you see exactly this code, it's not about the dreaded problem with the coolant pump in these engines. It's just about the coolant temp sensor that most likely has been leaking for a while and now is sending wrong readings to the system. Anyway, before you do anything, check the coolant level. If you don't see any coolant in the tank, your car has a much more serious problem with the coolant pump. Starting the engine and driving the vehicle may even lead to fire, so just have it towed to a good repair shop in this case. If the coolant level is okay, you can repair this problem on your own. So the sensor in question is reachable without any disassembling, but if you take the plastic air filter box out of the way, you are going to have much better access to it. This is the sensor with the gray plastic connector on the side of the engine. It's hard to miss. I believe the main problem with these sensors is that they are fixated in a very unusual way. They don't have any thread and are holding in their place thanks to a thin, shabby clip. To get the sensor out, you just need to remove that clip with a flathead screwdriver and then install it back in the same place when you install the new sensor. So the problem is that over time these sensors become loose in their place and the O-ring can't stop them from leaking some coolant. This coolant then gets inside the connector and the system is shorted. Fortunately, you can clean the connector with a bit of contact cleaner, then dry it with a compressor or even a hair dryer and put it all back along with the new sensor, and it will most likely work. Also, when you take the sensor out, there will be some coolant coming out of the hole, so get your new sensor ready and plug it in quickly to avoid coolant loss.